Micro moments here and now can change your woes to wow. It's Rhyme and Reason 650.
There's a rhyme and reason for your life. There's a rhyme and reason why you're...
Hey there, Tony here again. So glad you could be with me on this little episode of Rhyme and Reason. And I'm talking about micro moments, micro magical moments. Not magic little moments like I shared with you some time ago. That's a song that I wrote a long time ago, and there's a story with that. So you check back in the back episodes of the Rhyme and Reason podcast, and you'll see that. Find that back there somewhere. I don't know what episode it is, and I'm not like one of those fancy schmancy podcasters who knows, all the episodes that I've done, because I've done hundreds, and I didn't look it up. So, sue me. No, don't sue me, please. Okay, never mind. All right, I'm talking about micro moments, and something that came to mind when I started thinking about this was a song from 1960. I just love this song. Is This Magic Moment. It was a song written by Doc Pomus and Mart Schumann. Now, I know you're like, oh, yeah. Oh, Doc and Mort. Yeah. Who? Right? So maybe you might remember instead the people who made the song a hit by singing it. That was Benny King and the Drifters. And I bet they had no idea. They actually created one of those billions of micro moments where certain demographics spend their time. That's kind of segueing into what I'm talking about here. Before I go further, let me just play a little bit of that song. This is going to be no high fidelity anything. I'm just playing this from my browser here, so you'll barely hear it, maybe. I don't know. But Benny King and the Drifters singing This Magic Moment. I'm just going to play a little clip because I don't want to get any copyright issues, okay? Here it goes.
This magic moment, so different and so new, was like any other, until I kissed you, and then it happened.
Yeah. Does that take you back? If it doesn't take you back, maybe you were never there in the first place, okay? But I like that song. It's just one of those nostalgic kind of songs from way back in the way back. I'm going to call short, catchy songs what they are, though. What I said. They're micro moments, just like he was singing about. When you listen to a song like that from, well, it eventually became the Drifters, it only takes about 2.5 minutes, and the whole song's over, and you just experience something that was easy to access, easy to click and listen to, and it didn't take much of your time, right? Even what I just did, that was an example of that magic moment. And years ago, I wrote about the short attention span of readers and consumers, and I saw internet marketing gurus talk about how what they call long-form copy will never die. And I guess maybe for a certain group or groups of people, that will be true. But apparently, millennials don't fit into those groups. So I must be a millennial because I'm not a fan of long copy. I don't like more words when, I just want people to get to the point. But that's me, and I realize I'm different, but then again, I'm not so different from the millennials because I just read an article that said smartphones are their favorite device to work on. And for a large percentage of them, 70% in fact, their smartphone is their go-to device every day. In fact, millennials are really highly likely to do everything on their phone. And they like short, fast content and interactions. That's the way they like their content. Plus, they want to be able to find an answer when they think about it. And that means they don't want to wait till they get to their laptop or their desktop, and open that up. And however much time that takes, it doesn't take all that much anymore, but it's a lot more convenient, when you just ask your phone. So, of course, the great and powerful Google, they chimed in on what they call micro moments. Their research showed how a huge amount of what goes on online is broken up into short and fast connections. And most of it's done on a smartphone these days. I just listened to another guy that I follow who he and his partner were talking about how even discarding just the demographic of millennials, how basically everybody, it's up to 70% and more of all online interaction or on the internet or whatever you want to call it is done on a smartphone. And so Google calls them micro moments, and I thought, well, I'll use that too. And they said if you're a company who would like a slice of the millennial spending pie, and apparently that's getting to be more, you better make sure your website or your other online buying experience can deliver quickly, mobile. So, think about it. When you want to get a fast answer to something and you're not at your desk, do you just wait till you get home? No way. You pop out your phone and you either ask Siri or Google or Alexa, or you type in a search term and voila, you get your answer, right? Or millions of answers in about a second, maybe even less sometimes. It's really an amazing time to be alive. I hope you can see that. It's just awesome. But guess what? You can also be gone in a micro moment, in the blink of an eye. And by gone, I mean you could leave your body and move into the next phase of your existence. And you have two choices where you'll exist: life forever in heaven or death forever in hell. And if you haven't made your choice before you die, you're not even going to get a fraction of a micro moment to decide at that point. The decision's been made because your choice has to be made in the here and now. Yep, that's the rules. Them's the rules, they say. So here's a suggestion. Ask Siri or Google or Alexa to help you find a Bible. And then turn to the New Testament and look for Paul's letters. They're going to be listed as sections or books in the New Testament, but they're actually letters. And you'll find them listed in the New Testament from Romans to Philemon, which looks like Philemon. So that's where his writings are. The reason I suggest reading Paul's letters is because he was what Christians consider and call the apostle or messenger to the Gentiles. And if you're not a Jew, guess what? You're a Gentile. So his letters give you a clear understanding of what you need to do to make a wise decision for where you're going to be forever. Okay? Now you can just skip my suggestion and pop out your phone and listen to Benny King and the Drifters again and enjoy your little micro moments while you can, because they're all you're going to get. I'm sorry to tell you. You don't make peace with your maker, then you're going to be in some sort of laker. Yeah, that's a bad rhyme. Okay, but I'll talk about that another time. It's a fiery little lake. Big lake, unfortunately. Gigantic. Huge. Okay, before I get too off the tangent here and off into another tangent, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. It does really, truly bless me knowing that there are so many people out there listening and tuning in. I hope to bring you some more real soon. Until then, you can go to TonyFunderburk.com, click on that merch tab, get yourself any number of T-shirts, but the main one that I'm always talking about is the one that says, life has rhyme and reason because God made you.
There's a rhyme and